He's going to try to slowly transition into ZerO Reaver here. Third Gax going to come up there, up at the bottom right position alongside a bunch of extractors. A lot of Corsairs in the air now for JangBi. Already 5, I think, and weapons 1 upgrade on the way. There are some mutas out there for ZerO, actually, so he is thinking about it. I'm not quite sure whether he actually... I think he went for the Scourge first just in case, trying to pick off those Corsairs, but I think with all those Corsairs in the air, it's going to be a little bit dangerous to go for this. He's putting down his Hydra's Den as well, so he's not committing to mutas. At the very least, more cannons going to be put up at the front by JangBi, and he's going to have, so I'm most likely going to have his robotic support bay being put up. Now, Corsairs are going to go there, pick off these 2 Overlords at the bottom right of position. On the ZerO's going to react to this to actually go for the attack instead of trying to pick off these Corsairs. He's going to try to go for the attack because he knows the natural expansion of JangBi is going to be rather vulnerable here. JangBi is going to try to push back. No cannons whatsoever to defend. This natural expansion is going to be completely wide open. Mutas don't even need to micro right now. They can just go and do as much damage as they can. There's Scourge. Meanwhile, waiting for those Corsairs as they come back. A lot of the pros being killed. Some of them run and out of the range of those mutas. Some of the Scourge almost do catch some of the Corsairs because JangBi unfortunately flew some of them back. Strange little micro mistake I think there. He's meanwhile getting his robotic support is up. And some Reavers are going to be on the way alongside the Shadow. He has to be very careful not to get those picked up by Scourge. Spore colonies ready in several in the natural expansion there by ZerO. So he's going to be very careful. He knows of the heavy cascade of Corsairs that are in the air. See, I'm using that. Thanks, Moltrap. Love you. Man, that sounded kind of, yeah. But, yeah. Okay. JangBi should be, I think soon thinking of expanding. He has those weapons 1 out, so if he wants to go out and hunt down those mutas, he might do that as long as they stay in a clump. But, not really pumping Corsairs, maybe only from 1 Stargate at the moment. Hydra's on the way out for ZerO now. Look at the game that is now. They're kind of staying a bit of a stalemate. Some Scourge are getting popped. Blammo. And finally, some cannons going outside in the natural, and it's still with Dune actually coming down now, so he's going to transition to a ground army alongside, most likely. Still don't see any shuttles or Reavers out for him, so I'm wondering if he's rethinking his own decisions. I don't know what's going on anymore. I thought StarCraft was a specific kind of game, but it always confuses me. Oh, God. Evo Chambers up. I think I saw 2. I think I saw 1 at the bottom right now. I might have seen another one somewhere else at the natural. I'm not overall too sure. She's definitely going to keep up upgrading those ground forces. So both players are thinking of transition to ground armies. Crusader's going to go out, try to pick off an Overlord. Just run in, take a couple pot shots right back. Overlords do not have speed, though. So they're going to be weak. Oh, Hydra's going to try to run in by, but the Corsair's going to be able to take a lot of advantage. Mutalisk, meanwhile, going to go yet again for the natural expansion of JangBi. Then 1 Single Dragoon and a cannon to defend. Pardon me, they're still going to have going to be able to get a lot of damage done. On the opposite side, those Corsairs trying to do pretty much the same thing, and I'm wondering whether JangBi's actually want to fly in and engage the way that they were flying. They were flying the same course there, so they might have actually engaged their Corsairs. They're just trying to find a place for them to do something. Mutalisk meanwhile going to fly back. Have Carapace 1 upgrades, so cannons and Corsairs not going to be as effectual, but hey, they're still going to manage to do something to them. Sunken Colony and Creep Colony, that might become a Spore. Yeah, he's going to, Spore Colony inside of the main there. And pretty decent Hydra army, as actually ZerO decides to expand for the mineral only at the 4 o'clock. JangBi thinking of expanding at his own mineral only, I think, picking off yet another Overlord there, but overall still hasn't done that. Still losing some probes to those Okay, actually we managed to fire him back again. Still not losing as many probes to the mutas, but ZerO has a fairly substantial Hydra army, so if he tries to break the front, at the very least there are Reavers there to help defend. Some Zealots, and going for Reavers instead of High Templar can be effective, because Reaver Scarabs are, well, depending on the situation, Reaver Scarabs can be harder to dodge. They don't cover as much surface area. Oh, shuttle! Mutalisk after that shuttle trying to hunt it down, but going to get picked off. At the very least, they spotted the Reaver. Not quite sure if you know about the Reaver. Second Reaver on the way, though. But yeah, High Templars, they cover a larger surface area, but the full damage is only done over 4 seconds. Meanwhile, Reavers do more damage. Well, depending on whether they're upgraded or not, I suppose. But they have potentially do more damage. Well, maybe perhaps less splash, less surface area, but instantly. So that's a very strong weapon. Hydras, especially if they're in a large clump, a couple of Reaver Scarabs can just whittle down a Hydra army by half with a couple of Scarabs. TT out there now, out there for JangBi. He's the only Protoss player down there, but he's trying to possibly sneak that by trying to do some damage. Opposite side, 1 Storm going to come off right on that Rab. Catches a lot of Hydras, though. doing a lot of damage, picking some of them off. Nice, of course. You gotta expect some high Templars coming in from JangBi. JangBi's not JangBi if he doesn't go for high Templars, really. He does have some Reavers to support, but what I'm really worried about is economy-wise. Can he actually support all this economy, guys? It's like he has every single take out there. He has Storm, he has Dark Templars, he has Reavers. Fine, not picking up his mineral because the way he's... of course, he's not pumping that many ground forces. Lurkers! Whoa, GT is going to come in there, do nothing else. The really is going to spot the million Lurkers out there coming in. On the opposite side, JangBi's most likely going to be rushing to Observatory if he didn't have that before. Meanwhile, his mineral only that's trying to put down is going to be heavily threatened. Hydra's going to come in there. Some Scourge is going to... Corsair's going to come in and pick up some of the Scourge. They're going to be able to fly back. A couple of Zealots going to run up here. And that they're not going to be able to do anything. That's one of the weaknesses. He doesn't have a very large Hydra. He has a High Templar coming in. One Storm going to cut off. High Templar did get picked off, though. And the second one gets picked off by the Hydras. Nice. High Templar sniping a couple of Corsairs as they fly by as well. They're going to be forced back, but I think that forced to cancel. There are going to be a couple of shadows coming in there for JangBi. There is a Spore Colony there. A couple of Reavers going to start off by picking off the Spore Colony and trying to pick up some of the Hydras alongside as well. Let's see. Did he drop anything from the other shuttle or not? Spore Colony still hasn't come down. Shuttle's going to be forced away. One shuttle did go down. There is a high DT there, though. That's going to take down the Spore Colony. One more hit. And there are, I think, more Spore Colonies, maybe second colonies coming up for him. There's an Overlord in there, I think. So DT's going to have to try to get as much accomplished as possibly can. No, never mind. Actually, Hydras came in and killed it. So, boo-hoo. But yeah, I think JangBi's kind of overextending himself very heavily on the tech. Not really that many mutas have been produced at all times by ZerO, but he did go very heavy Hydra. He did have the mutas, but he still managed to support this off those 3 bases. But JangBi's gonna have to. The mineral only is already very heavily depleted, and his mineral only his natural expansion can't be very well off on minerals either. Meanwhile, ZerO has his mineral only up as well, so he's fairly good on resources. His main is still in somewhat decent shape. So, and now ZerO's going to go for that mineral only. The Nexus isn't even up yet. There are some Reavers there to defend alongside Zealots going to run in right now. Lurkers are going to be there. The cannons are going to be the only thing, I think, to spot those Lurkers. I don't think I see any observers anywhere. A couple Reavers still in there, going to try to get as many Scarabs off as they can. Cannon's going to go down. The Lurkers still going to be able to do a lot of damage. Reavers going to try to do as much as they can. One High Templar there. I'm not sure is going to manage to get a Storm off. Gets picked off, but ZerO going to be able to take down a mineral only. And I think he's going to be able to win this just with this. Just deny this mineral only, deny JangBi any resources. JangBi's going to run out. He went too much tech too heavily. High Temper's going to get a couple of decent Storms off. Morgan's on Archon, but GG. JangBi GG. No way he was going to be able to stay in that game with the amount of resources that he expended on way too much. So I feel like he went into that just with that early trick of his, tried to do more damage to ZerO, expected to do more damage than he actually did. And then went for way too much tech, like as if he was going to go for Corsair Reaver first, then he went for High Templars instead for Ground Army, and it was all very strange. I'm not quite sure whether he knew exactly what he was going to do. So you can't do that against ZerO. ZerO's one of the best ZVP players in the world, so he's going to take care of you. So if you don't have a plan against him, if you're a protoss and don't have a plan. So anyway, GG guys, wrenching out there listening. I'm going to bring you the winners match. I'm going to see whether Hwasun or ZerO is going to be the first one to exit this group into the round of 16.